little bit of time to take some questions from the floor. We want this to be an engaging session. You have a very good opportunity. We have a very distinguished panel up here. Are there any questions on this whole issue of e-mobility and electric cars, and in fact Indonesia's own future? Any questions at the moment? Yes, sir. Can we have a mic there? Nggak apa-apa. Jenny, mic. Ini. Thank you, Pak Yanto.
Thank you. I think that's a brilliant question. We have also been looking at that and asking that ourselves when we can introduce the i3 in Indonesia. I think globally, BMW would like to be able to sell more of this. And it's not just because we get to sell something. It's because also it makes sustainability sense. The cars are cleaner. They're also cheaper for consumers to run. But the big question, and one of the things that I also mentioned earlier in the presentation, is that the first step to allowing consumers that ease of access is incentives. And I'm not saying that to try and put pressure on anybody. It's the global pattern that we've seen, that where the markets or the countries have got clear incentives for consumers buying electric cars, the take-up rate is very, very good. Norway, for instance, they have a whole package of incentives. They don't pay VAT, and Norway has got very, very high taxes. So VAT is not needed for electric cars. They get to ride on the ferries for free. So they have a lot of islands, and they go around on ferries every now and then, and that's for free. They get to park for free in the city. They get to charge for free in the city. They get to use bus lanes. So the number one best-selling car in Norway right now is an electric car. So again, when we start talking about incentives, it could be a little bit painful, especially at the government level, to listen to it, because it's a huge financial cost. And it is a big ticket item. It is the second most expensive thing that most people will buy in their life after a house. So when we talk about subsidizing something which is expensive for most people, it becomes a little bit more sensitive. But ultimately, there can be many other ways where we can consider how to find the resources to cater for that kind of subsidy or that sort of incentive. And we're just chatting with Pak Putu as well. If the cost of importing fuel is so high, and the cost of the secondary economic impact of having cheap fuel, such as the impact to health and the environment, is also really high, maybe there is a very clear business case for the country to have incentives and to have a rapid take-up for electric vehicles, which are cleaner and greener and better for the environment, better for the healthcare, end of the day, better for productivity among the workers as well. So, in short, we're still very keen to have the i3 here. We also want the right moment. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much. I think we have time for just one last question. If there is any burning question, somebody, yes. Can you also please identify yourself?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Suraya from Universitas Gadjah Mada. e-mobility is very good solution, I think. But for me, as a car driver who sometimes stuck in a traffic jam, I'm asking for everyone in the panelists: is there any solution for traffic control management? I mean, related to this kind of technology, so then any sensor were implemented in traffic lamp or whatever, and they are communicating with the car, and then we can have a better solution for the traffic. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, your question is whether we have a solution for traffic control or traffic congestion. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to throw the ball to Pak Putu, since you're the representative of the government.
Yeah, okay, Pak Surahyo. Maybe we should invite a colleague from the Ministry of Transportation to discuss the network of the transportation, especially in the big city. Because of the limitation of the time, I did not mention about the commercial cars to anticipate the 2030, where we have to reduce the CO2 to 29%. In one of my materials, there is a division of the private vehicles and also the commercial vehicles. And for commercial vehicles, we have to introduce maybe the CNG or gas base, because the CNG or gas is also a low CO2 and low carbon emission, so we can still use them. And in the commercials, maybe we can also introduce the e-mobility. As I mentioned, 2 or 3 buses, they can, with a special line that now is being constructed from South Jakarta to, where is it? Not Jakarta, and also in the south, Pak, to Pondok Labu or to, yeah, there is a new lines for a bus. So you can operate 2 or 3 buses together with e-mobility. Only one driver in the front and 2 other buses without driver. They only use the maybe the sensors and everything. So we can also introduce that, Pak. So at least to reduce the numbers of the cars operated at the same time. This is also part of the traffic management. So with the new technology now, today, yeah, I'm sorry to mention the map, Google Map. Maybe everybody now is using Google Map, or maybe using Waze. Yeah? Then you can also reduce the congestion in one side. But with the new technology in e-mobility, we could improve in many ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Putu. I think that was a very good wrap-up to our session this morning. I'd like to thank BMW for hosting the session, and for the panelists for joining us, Pak Andy, Pak Putu, Pak Kuku, and Pak Penarawan. I think will you please join me in giving them a round of applause and thanking them for taking the time here. Just to conclude, I think the whole theme for this year's Indonesia Economic Forum is driving innovation. I didn't use that in purpose in reference to BMW, but I think we do need partnerships between government, between private sector, and I think the media and civil society all play a very important role. Communities, that's right. I think this is a great start. At least we're talking about it. We're discussing these issues. I was very encouraged by Putu in terms of how the government also sees the growth and the future direction of the automotive sector. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. For those of you who have not downloaded Shedwit, which is we are launching Shedwit, which is a new app, conference networking app in the Indonesia Economic Forum. If you want more details, please ask some of my staff. If you download it, you are connected to not just those who are here, but to individuals across the world who are on schedule. So again, this is part of innovation. It's a business networking app. So it uses artificial intelligence and big data analytics to match and link individuals with similar backgrounds and matches you across the world in many cities, especially in Europe and America. And we are now launching it in Asia. So please find out more about Schedule, and if you don't, you can ask me or ask any of my staff. Thank you again very much. Lunch, I think, will be served soon or is already served. And still stay with us for the rest of the day. Thank you very much. And once again, thank you to the panel. We have some, thank you, Bob. Thank you. Andy, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. We have a token of appreciation. Andy. Thank you. We have a photo.